Hi, I'm Trang. I'm going to talk to you about exemptions under the Fair Labor Standards Act. FLSA for short has a requirement that all employees are to be paid at least the minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. On top of that, you have to keep track of the hours that employees work, and it has to be accurate. Number three is that when employees work over 40 hours in a 7-day work week, they have to be paid overtime. There is an exemption category for a smaller group of employees. If they fall under this exemption, then the FLSA does not require that employers pay these workers overtime when they work over 40 hours a week. The way I look at it, you break it down into two categories. Number one is the salary element, and number two is the job duties element. So you have to have all elements in order to be exempt under the FLSA. Under element number one, the salary basis test requires that you pay the worker at least 684 a week. You can't pay them less, because if you pay them less than 684 a week, then they're no longer an exempt employee. Number two is that you actually pay them a salary. You cannot make improper deductions. So what are improper deductions? For example, if you have an employee that shows up and performs work, no matter what the quality is or the quantity, you still have to pay them a salary. If you don't like their work, the quality, or the quantity of the salary exempt employee, you can fire them, discipline them, write them up, but you still have to pay them a salary. Now let's talk a little bit about in more detail on certain circumstances in which you can make deductions from an exempt employee's pay without jeopardizing the salary elements. You can make full day deductions in or suspend them without pay for violating work policy. An example might be you have an employee that sexually harassed another coworker or someone else at work. You can suspend them without pay without jeopardizing the salary element. If they violate a major safety rule, then you can suspend them without pay without jeopardizing the salary element. But it's key that you don't suspend exempt employee for minor safety violations, minor infractions, because when you do that, the reg says that you could jeopardize your salary element. If you want more information about this, you can take a look at the DOL opinion letters, FLSA 2006-24 or -24NA. Now let's talk a little bit about vacation pay. You can make deductions for employees for personal absences. You can make whole day deductions for sick days. Let's talk a little bit about vacations and holidays, bad weather. So in event of a holiday, bad weather, or other occasions where work is unavailable at the office and the office is closed, but the employee is able to work if they typically can and want to work, then you cannot make deductions for that. If an employee misses work while the office is open because they're going on vacation or for some other reason, then you can make deductions, whole day deductions. And when I say whole day, it means the unit of measurement is the entire day. Now, partial day deduction is a gray area. It's a red flag. When you make partial deductions, you can violate the salary requirement and turn that employee from an exempt employee to a non-exempt employee, in which case you may have to reclassify them and pay them overtime. So partial day docking of salary could be when they are absent or late, and you make partial day deductions, like a couple hours or just for the entire morning that they're absent. If you categorize that as a non-paid event, you may violate the salary element. Now let's talk about part two, the duties test. Now, there are many categories for exemptions under the statute. I'm just going to cover 3 of them because these are the 3 common exemptions that we often see in our FLSA lawsuits. So the first one is the executive, the second one is the administrative exemption, and the third one is your professional exemption. So let's go through the first one. Under the executive exemption, that employee must supervise 2 full-time employee or the equivalent of 2 full-time employee. That means you could supervise 2 part-time employee and 1 full-time employee. Add them together, that's 2 full-time employee. What if you have 4 part-time employees? Well, you add them all together, that makes 2 full-time employees if you satisfy the 2 employee requirements. Number 2 is that you have to be able to hire and fire or promote or set policies. And the reason why is that some people have just input on hiring and firing. That's okay. You can still satisfy the executive exemption category. Whether or not they are allowed to set policies is key here because the employee has to engage in managing an enterprise or subdivision of the company, meaning they are a department head, they supervise the branch or the division, and that includes hiring and firing. If you have someone that doesn't hire and fire, then you're not exempt. If you have an employee that is actually not running the operation, then you don't have an exempt employee. Under the administrative exempt employee, this is key in that it has to be non-manual work. So that means you can't be performing manual labor on a day-to-day basis as your primary duty. It has to be technical office work or specialized office work. So envision an office environment. Those are what you call administrative exempt employee. And so they must exercise a great degree of discretion and independent judgment in a day-to-day basis. Their job duties, if you give them someone a great deal of discretion, but they only exercise once a month or maybe once a quarter, it doesn't count. You have to look at their day-to-day activity and do they exercise a great deal of discretion on matters of importance. Examples would be personnel director, vice president of operation, head buyers, head dispatcher, or department head. But it has to deal with managerial policies or the general business operation of the company. If you have someone that's just following rote procedures and policies, then they may not fall under the administrative exempt category. Let's take a look at professional exemptions. These are people that went to college and specialized training. They have gotten special degrees. You're looking at doctors, CPAs, nurses, and teachers, scientists, lawyers. And all of those people are utilizing the specialized degrees and training. However, just because someone has a specialized degree or training doesn't mean that the job they do or perform is an exempt category. So for example, if you have a lawyer that decided to drive a limousine, then that person is not exempt because even though they have a specialized training, they're not performing and utilizing that specialized training. The same thing goes for nurses. If you have a nurse that's working for an insurance company and they are not performing nursing duties or utilizing their training, their medical knowledge, but they're just reviewing files using set procedures and policies and parameters set out by the insurance company, then that person is not exempt under the professional exemption. All right, I hope that helps. If you need any more information, visit the DOL website or take a look at our website.